Have you noticed that as you get older, you appreciate your alone time more? Maybe you no longer feel the need to be around people as often, or perhaps you find more comfort in quiet moments than in busy social gatherings. Some might mistake this for isolation, but in reality, choosing solitude later in life is often a sign of deep wisdom. While society tends to celebrate constant socializing and connectivity, there is great strength and understanding in embracing time alone. In this video, we'll explore 5 compelling reasons why seniors who enjoy solitude are incredibly wise. From cherishing peace to fostering lifelong learning, each reason highlights how being alone isn't about loneliness. It's about personal growth, emotional resilience, and living life on your own terms. Stick with me until the end, and you might realize that your love for solitude is actually one of the greatest gifts of aging well. Now, let's dive in. Reason number 1. You understand the value of peace. There comes a point in life when peace becomes more important than noise. And for many seniors, that moment arrives in their later years. After decades of managing responsibilities, resolving conflicts, and navigating life's ups and downs, you realize that peace isn't just a luxury, it's essential. You've learned that unnecessary drama, constant distractions, and shallow interactions only drain your energy. Instead of filling your time with obligations that don't truly serve you, you now prioritize quality over quantity, both in how you spend your days and in the people you surround yourself with. Take 70-year-old Gerald, for example. In his younger years, he was always surrounded by people, co-workers, neighbors, acquaintances. He felt obligated to be social, even when he didn't feel like it. But after retiring, he came to a realization. Many of those relationships were built on habit rather than genuine connection. So he started saying no to events that didn't interest him and instead embraced the simple joys of solitude, peaceful morning walks, reading a good book, or simply sitting with his thoughts. And what he discovered was life-changing. He wasn't lonely. He was free. Embracing solitude means being comfortable with yourself without needing constant external stimulation to feel fulfilled. Many people fear being alone because they struggle to sit with their own thoughts. But if you enjoy your own company, it's a sign of emotional strength, independence, and wisdom. Instead of exhausting yourself trying to keep up with social expectations that don't bring you happiness, you choose to protect your peace, something many people never learn to do. Some might mistake this for isolation, but there's a crucial difference. Isolation is when someone feels disconnected and longs for companionship they don't have. Solitude, on the other hand, is a choice, the decision to step away from the noise of the world and find comfort in stillness. And when you reach a stage in life where you truly understand that peace is more valuable than meaningless socializing, you've unlocked one of the greatest rewards of aging. Reason number 2, you have a strong sense of self. As you grow older, one of the clearest signs of wisdom is the ability to truly understand who you are. When you were younger, you might have spent a lot of time worrying about how others perceived you, trying to fit into different social circles, or seeking approval from family, friends, or colleagues. But now, you've reached a point where you no longer feel the need to prove anything to anyone. You've lived through enough experiences to know what you want, what you'll tolerate, and what you won't. This kind of self-awareness is both rare and incredibly powerful. People who struggle with being alone often do so because they haven't built a strong relationship with themselves. They rely on others to fill the silence, distract them from their thoughts, or help define their sense of identity. But when you genuinely enjoy your own company, it's because you've reached a level of self-acceptance and inner security that many people never achieve. Instead of seeking validation from others, you've learned to find contentment in simply being yourself. Take 68-year-old Patricia, for example. In her younger years, she was always surrounded by friends, constantly organizing outings and ensuring she was never idle. But over time, she realized that much of her socializing was more out of habit than true fulfillment. After retiring, she started embracing more alone time, solo walks, quiet mornings with coffee, and even traveling on her own. What she discovered was that she didn't feel lonely at all. In fact, she felt more confident, more in tune with herself, and freer than ever before. When you know yourself deeply, you no longer need external validation to feel complete. You're comfortable with your own thoughts, your own company, and the decisions you make. This self-awareness empowers you to make choices that align with your true values, rather than succumbing to societal pressures or the expectations of others. You no longer waste time with activities or people who drain your energy, because you understand that your time is too precious to spend on things that don't bring you peace or fulfillment. Some might wonder why you prefer solitude, but those who truly understand will see it for what it is, a sign of someone who has done the inner work, who has nothing left to prove, and who finds joy in simply being in their own presence. And that, without a doubt, is one of the greatest strengths a person can possess. Reason number 3, you choose quality over quantity in relationships. As you age, one of the most valuable lessons you learn is that not all relationships are worth holding on to. In your younger years, you might have spent time surrounded by acquaintances, co-workers, or people who came and went in your life without leaving much of an impact. But with time, you begin to understand that what truly matters isn't how many people you know. It's the depth and quality of the connections you maintain. Many people feel obligated to keep up with social ties simply because they've known someone for a long time. But wisdom teaches that longevity doesn't always equate to value. If a relationship no longer brings mutual respect, support, or joy, holding on to it out of habit only drains your energy. This is why many seniors who prefer solitude aren't antisocial or lonely. They've simply outgrown superficial connections and now prioritize deeper, more meaningful bonds. Take 72-year-old Frank, for example. He used to feel obligated to maintain a large circle of friends, even when those friendships didn't truly enrich his life. He'd attend events he didn't enjoy, engage in conversations that felt strained, and spend time with people who didn't genuinely know or appreciate him. But as he grew older, Frank began to focus on the few relationships that felt authentic and fulfilling. Instead of trying to please everyone, he now spends his time with those who truly care about him. And what he found? He feels lighter, more at peace, and more satisfied than ever before. When you prioritize quality over quantity, you begin to value authenticity over appearances. You no longer feel the need to force friendships that don't align with who you are or engage in shallow small talk just to pass the time. Instead, you invest in the relationships that bring you real joy, growth, and connection. Whether that's with close family members, a handful of true friends, or even just the bond you've developed with yourself. Some may see your preference for solitude as pulling away from others, but in reality, you simply understand the difference between being surrounded by people and being truly connected to them. You no longer need a packed social calendar to feel validated because you've reached a point in life where genuine connections matter far more than societal expectations. And that's a clear sign of wisdom. Reason number 4, you enjoy lifelong learning and personal growth. One of the biggest misconceptions about aging is that personal growth slows down as you get older. In reality, those who embrace solitude often find themselves continuing to grow, learn, and evolve more than ever before. While some people rely on social interactions for entertainment, those who prefer being alone often experience deep fulfillment through exploring new ideas, learning new skills, and expanding their understanding of the world. Many wise seniors use their alone time to engage in meaningful activities, whether it's reading, writing, painting, playing an instrument, or even picking up a new language. Instead of seeking external distractions, they nourish their minds in ways that bring real satisfaction. This kind of intellectual curiosity is a key sign of wisdom and longevity. Research has shown that seniors who stay mentally active through learning and creative pursuits tend to maintain sharper cognitive function and a stronger sense of purpose. Take 74-year-old Eleanor, for example. After decades of raising a family and working a demanding job, she suddenly found herself with more free time than ever before. While some expected her to join social groups or clubs, Eleanor instead discovered the joy of solitary learning. She started reading books on history and philosophy, took up painting, and even began writing down memories from her past. Far from feeling bored or lonely, she found a renewed sense of excitement and purpose in her alone time. Lifelong learning isn't just about keeping your mind sharp. It's about keeping your mind open, engaged, and curious about the world around you. Many people fall into the trap of thinking that, by a certain age, they've learned everything they need to know. But the wisest seniors know that there's always something new to discover, whether it's a different perspective, a new skill, or a deeper understanding of themselves. People who fear solitude often seek constant distractions, but those who embrace it see it as an opportunity, not a limitation. Instead of wasting time on shallow interactions, they use their alone time to challenge themselves, grow, and deepen their appreciation for life. And that is a clear sign of true wisdom. Reason number 5, you are comfortable with your own thoughts and emotions. Many people spend their lives avoiding solitude because they're uncomfortable being alone with their own thoughts. They keep busy, fill their schedules with distractions, and surround themselves with noise. Anything to avoid sitting in silence with themselves. But those who embrace solitude in their later years have reached a rare and powerful level of emotional maturity. They've made peace with who they are at ease with their past, and are unafraid of their inner world. When you can sit alone without feeling restless or uneasy, it means you've developed a deep sense of self-acceptance. You no longer need external stimulation to feel whole. You don't rely on others to define your happiness. Instead, you've learned to appreciate the stillness, reflection, and quiet moments that allow you to connect with yourself. This emotional independence is something many people never achieve, and it's a clear sign of wisdom. Take 69-year-old Walter, for instance. In his younger years, he always felt the need to be around people, attending social events, keeping up with conversations, and constantly staying busy. But as he aged, he realized that much of his need for socializing stemmed from a fear of confronting his own thoughts. Once he started embracing solitude, he discovered something unexpected. He actually enjoyed his own company. He began using quiet moments to reflect on his life, appreciate how far he'd come, and even process old emotions he had buried beneath busyness. With that came a peace he had never known before. Being comfortable in solitude doesn't mean you never enjoy socializing. It means you don't need constant interaction to feel complete. You've reached a point where you can sit in stillness without feeling lonely, where you can reflect on life without regret, and where you can appreciate each moment for what it is. Instead of running from silence, you embrace it as a space for growth, gratitude, and understanding. Many people spend their entire lives avoiding this kind of deep self-reflection, but those who become comfortable with themselves have mastered one of life's most important lessons. When you can be alone and feel completely at peace, you found something no amount of socializing can replace: true inner contentment. Final thoughts. Choosing to spend more time alone as you grow older isn't a sign of loneliness. It's a sign of wisdom. It reflects a deeper self-awareness and emotional strength that allows you to embrace peace, prioritize meaningful relationships, keep learning, and fully accept who you are. While others might misunderstand your preference for solitude, you understand that your alone time is far from empty. It's filled with purpose, reflection, and personal growth. Not everyone reaches this stage with the same clarity. Many still seek distractions, avoiding silence in their own thoughts. But if you can find joy in your own company, if you can sit alone and feel content, you've unlocked one of the greatest gifts of aging: the ability to be at peace with yourself. What resonated with you the most? Which of these insights do you see reflected in your own life? We'd love to hear from you. Share a lesson you've learned today and how you plan to apply it moving forward. Your thoughts are valuable to us, so please feel free to share. Reading your comments inspires and motivates us. If you enjoyed this video and found it helpful, please like, subscribe, and share. Your support helps us keep creating valuable content to inform and inspire. Thanks for watching, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.